Welcome to another edition of Great Health, Abundant Happiness, and Outrageous Love. Mwah. Trying to get in some steps here before the temperature hits 100 degrees here in Arizona. It's beautiful in the morning, isn't it?
The mornings are just magical. The weather's perfect. There's a slight breeze. You can kind of see our hair is blowing a little bit, and the sun is shining. So although the air is warm, you've got this, luxurious breeze coming through. I think if the weather were like this, all day long, that's pretty much perfection.
We may move here. If they had an ocean, we'd be good. But we're gonna climb to the top of that thing right there, Pinnacle Peak. But anyway, so we want to do a quick video before we shoot up and before the heat shoots up. What did you want to talk about, my love?
So this is an interesting topic. I got invited to attend a webinar for successful single women. So the webinar is geared toward successful single women attracting successful men. And first of all, I thought it was really humorous that I got invited, because I would like to think I am the most happiest married unsingle woman on the planet, because I've been extremely fortunate in that I have the best relationship that I know of
Thank you.
on the planet, and we've been together, married for 29 years. So, first of all, to that person doing the webinar, if they knew anything about us, they'd know that not only am I not single, but I'm so happily married, and Jeffrey and I are writing a book and doing videos and posting on LinkedIn and posting on Facebook about how happy we are, and not to tell people how happy we are, but to share with everyone that it's possible for all of us to have this. This is not exclusive for a select few. This is open to 100% of the population on the planet.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. And in all fairness, whoever's putting this thing on, when you market out to people, you just don't always know your audience. I mean, that's just the way it is with mass marketing these days. Is when we launch stuff, half the time the people aren't the right person to talk to or whatever. But you can't really blame them for that, right?
Exactly. And for those of you who do know us well, you may have even gotten an email from Jeffrey that was perplexing because a bot sent it out. So perhaps a bot did send this out to me. But my point is that I think if I'm going to take advice from somebody about anything, especially relationships, love, attracting in, men, etc., I want to make sure that that person themselves has had great success with that. So I apologize for this, but I don't want to take advice on relationships from somebody who is still single or single again, because I feel like, and this is really touchy because 50% of our population is, divorced, or people have had breakups, etc. I mean, I had breakups before Jeffrey. But my point is that I believe, and I know Jeffrey agrees with me, that most relationships, and we're talking in the 90 percentile that have broken up, could have worked out. And again, we've talked about this before. If there is any type of abuse, a mental abuse, a physical abuse, an emotional abuse, a spiritual abuse, that's a whole different animal, and there is definitely cause to end that relationship. But we have spoken to dozens and dozens of couples that have split up, and almost all of them have said, I probably could have worked it out. And many of them have said, I wish that I would have worked it out. Because the reason why most relationships break up, fights over kids, fights over money, you're going to have those exact same arguments with the next person. The only thing that changes from one relationship to another is you and your inner feelings about yourself. Once you are overflowing and exuberant with that bulletproof self-love, you can bring that into all of your relationships and have success.
So aren't you going to go on this anyway and just see what they have to say, and maybe you can help people, right?
I think I might.
Yeah, I think your point is, and it's not really touchy. Everybody gets this, as I'm looking out here at these homes over here. The guy who built that house, I'm sure he wasn't asking, his doctor on, how he should set up the foundation, right? He's asking someone who's built a lot of houses in the area. So, it's not really a touchy subject. You got to just take it out. It is, because you're talking about one person. Specifically, take it back. It's like you want to take advice from somebody that's done it before and is doing a great job with it, and has references that say, yeah, that person is a great home builder and they really know a lot about foundations. So obviously you want to talk to them about a foundation. So I understand it's touchy when you're talking about one specific person because you might offend someone,
right?
But I always look at things that way. I remember being a kid in the stock market. People would call me. I wasn't working in the stock market. I was investing. Would call me, and back in the day when everything was going up and to the right, I said, look, let's just share our portfolios. If yours is better than mine, I may listen to you. Now, that's the kind of thing that you're talking about here.
Right.
You got to take advice from a doctor that's treated the ailment that you have and has treated it successfully. You're not going to go to a vet and ask about your cough, right? That's the point.
100% right. And, to clarify, even in the medical industry, I mean, I'm not sure if you've followed us enough to know that I have Lyme disease, which is from the Lyme tick, but there are a lot of Lyme doctors out there. And what's fascinating about that is most of them have their own protocol, and whatever the other doctor's protocol is, they don't believe in that. So there cannot be that many, well, I guess there can be that many different protocols, but if a treatment isn't working and their protocol is not working, they don't want to send you to another Lyme doctor that has a new protocol. They want you to keep on trying this same thing, and we have seen this firsthand. So same thing with somebody who might be in a particular home building where all the houses, they're going to keep building in the same way. Guess what? We looked at a brand spanking new house from a builder that's built a lot of houses. Once again, there was water in the basement of the house that he built. Then we spoke with and looked at another builder and his references. He does something very different in this particular area where he calls it waterproofing the basement, and it's a much more intricate and expensive way to build a house. But I have to tell you what, I am going to use that builder over the builder who consistently has the leaky basements, and I would pay the extra money. Same thing, but you know why? Because I love myself and I'm worth it. Jeffrey's worth it. Same thing with relationships. So in taking advice from somebody on relationships, take a look at their own story. And we had a couple that we were acquainted with years ago. I'm gonna say 15 years ago, and we had spent some time with them, dinners, etc., here and there, and got to know them fairly well. Then they separated and divorced, and she changed her career and became a couples
coach of some sort.
And I just found that extremely ironic, because while we were spending time with them as a married couple, I mean, Jeffrey and I were not the least bit surprised when they split up. We could see it from a mile away. But I thought to myself, I feel bad for the people that are going to her as a coach, because the small portion that I know and that I was exposed to, I didn't think she understood that all of this comes from within, right?
Yeah.
And it's super important. And, if you're looking for relationship advice, Jeffrey and I have a great track record, 29 years together. And, we've been through a lot, and we've worked really hard at it. And we're pretty much going to tell you like it is, whether you want to hear it or not. So feel free to throw out your questions. We are not professionals. We are not doctors. We are not always right, but in our own relationship, with experience, we've always gotten it right. And we're still together. We'll be celebrating 30 years soon. And I know one day it's going to be a blank, and we'll be celebrating 60 and hopefully more.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just, our whole mission is to really help other people. So it's, it's relationships, it's healthful living. It's, if you want to go build residual income, whatever it is, whatever floats your boat. We're traveling around the globe as much as we can, exploring and doing everything we can to live the best life. And we're just trying to share our tips and tricks, as Karen said. We're not expert on everything, but we're happy to help wherever we can.
Exactly. Wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love from the base of Pinnacle Peak in Scottsdale, Arizona.
I'll see you guys.